What's up, guys? I know it's been a couple weeks since my last video, but there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for that, and it's ringers. As much of an excuse as I know that sounds like, it really isn't. The team we played up against in the first round of the playoffs had 2 or 3 ringers on the team, and in 2 games that we played, they were responsible for 10 of the 15 goals scored on me. So I'm not going to dwell on that, but because of the 15 goals getting scored on me, I decided I just wasn't going to do any gameplay videos for the playoffs, and I'm just going to focus on the summer season instead. The big news is that we're actually going to be changing league. We're staying in the same city, but we've moved on to the EHHL, which is played at the Bell Sports Complex. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with that name, that's where the Montreal Canadiens practice. Over the last couple of seasons, we've had a lot of issues with the ASHL, the reffing, the organization, and the management. So our team's management decided it would likely be better for us if we just moved on to something else, and that's exactly what we did. Now for cost, it's going to be about the same thing, but we're getting a lot more benefits. First of all, we're going to be playing better time slots on the same day, rather than playing as late as 11 o'clock sometimes. Our games are going to be time slotted between 7 and 9 o'clock at the latest, usually sometimes even earlier at 6, but that's going to be more rare. Another benefit is we're getting a guaranteed 2-ref system. The ASHL was sometimes 2 refs, but it was only 1 ref that was guaranteed. We're also getting more competent timekeepers, which is going to be great because they're actually going to count the shots. A lot of the times, the scorekeepers, all they did was put down the number of goals that went in, and that was a shot, so I had a 0% save percentage. We're also going to have the added benefit of a league organizer supervising the games, so that if ever there's any incidences, they have a witness and they have somebody responsible who can handle it then and there. On top of that, we're actually getting access to the soccer fields before the games so that we can get team practices and warm up off the ice, before we actually get on the ice. We've also got decently sized dressing rooms where they can actually fit a whole team rather than everybody just being cramped up in what seems to be like a basement locker. And finally, the team is really happy with this, is we're actually going to be playing on NHL-sized ice, which is just amazing compared to the smaller and off-sized rinks that they had at the ASHL. And I don't know if you guys have ever played on NHL ice, but it is phenomenal. The quality of the ice is just amazing. It's well Zambonied, it's properly frozen. Like, there's no such thing as soft ice in the summer, even at an NHL complex. So it's just amazing. And for me personally, the final thing is I get to share Carey Price's office. The blue paint where he practices is where I'm going to be doing my job for Blue Sky. So to me, that's just an added benefit. With the change of league, it means that my intro video is going to change. It's really a small change. The first title card is just going to be having the league initials change from ASHL hockey to EHHL hockey. Other than that, everything's going to be the same. The only thing that may change over time is I might change the music, as long as I can find something that I like and that works with the pace of the video. As a team for the new season, we're also going to be changing what we wear as jerseys. The green jersey that you've seen over the last 2-3 seasons are actually going to be left aside, and we're going to be playing with our away and alternate jerseys this time. So whenever we play home, we're going to be wearing our black alternate jersey, and when we play away, we're going to be wearing our white jersey. Finally, for some bloggy news, I recently picked up some home gym equipment so that I can put a little more effort into my working out and training, because I have to admit that my gym membership has not been a great return on the investment. I bought a 1-year gym membership, I went for a couple of months, and then it's been sporadic at best when I would go, and going 1 day every 2 or 3 weeks is really not great. I've still been doing my stretching routine and my resistance bands at home, but it's really just not enough. And now that I'm over 30, the metabolism has slowed down, and I gotta say that at just under 210 pounds, I'm rather heavy for a 5'11" goalie. So I want to drop that back down to 185, 180, 185, where I really should be, and focus on more explosive movements and strength in my core, so that I can be the best goalie that I can be when we start the new winter season. The summer season is going to be more of a get back into shape thing, but the winter season is where I really want to be. And finally, my eFlex 3 gear is still super stiff. I'm having a hard time breaking it in, especially the pads at the boot. The gloves feel great, but the pads are really just giving me a hard time. The boot is way too stiff, and the pads sit higher up than my old ones. So for the actual games, I'm going to keep playing with my 500 pads and the eFlex 3 gloves, and then hopefully with all the practices that I'm going to be getting in my eFlex 3 pad, they'll soften up and be good for winter season next year coming up. So with that, said, I guess I'll be seeing you guys in the gameplay video that should be out at the end of the week or early next week for our first summer season game. Peace.